I'm seeing a seed sprouting, and that seed is you. Okay, and every decision you make now, because there's a new beginning coming for you, and whatever decision you make is going to determine the direction in which the flowers that are coming from that seed face. You need to be really clear about your freedom. What does freedom mean to you? What does it actually look like? Especially if you're coming into connections with other people, whether it's romantic or business is important here as well. I'm seeing high-rise buildings as well. Okay, so that's important for maybe city, maybe you're traveling right now as well. And there's something that's coming through, and it's reminding, I think, to sweeten the deal, not to cheapen the deal. So that's really specific, okay? Something about strawberries as well. So I don't know if you like strawberries or you're eating strawberries right now, strawberry seeds or something. You know, they're stuck in someone's teeth. It's really specific. So, yeah, so there's a new beginning. And it's that darkness. You've been in that darkness. But in that darkness, you've been germinating. You've been learning. You've been recognizing the soil that is actually fertile. The soil that you want to grow in and invest in. And that's why you're finding your work. There's something about your value system that's become really strengthened. Okay. I feel like, you know, the past versions of you, they've taught you so much, but you're not going to continue to write those out. So you're finally understanding. That's why this feels like such a brand new beginning. It's not just repeating the past anymore. And I feel like there's some kind of positive, like abundant opportunity, truly. I can't even explain it. It feels quite powerful, but not it feels like God, right? In a way that you're working in the name of God. So divine. Do you know what I mean? Is your boss, if you will, or whatever. So it's really from that heart. That's incredible. Like really, I feel like you're becoming purpose driven. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Colour red could be important to you. Your root chakra and Muladhara chakra. Ace of Swords as well. You're getting so much more clear on, I think, what you truly want, what stability means to you. I just can't stop seeing these sky-rise buildings. Maybe you are in the city right now, or something about that is calling you. There's memories as well, coming through memories. I think that you've been putting in the work here, truly. You already have. Death at the bottom of the deck as well. Four of Wands. Wow. King of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. You know what you want. There's so much stability here. I think you're beginning to understand who you are in the context of this Four of Wands energy, 11-11. Okay, maybe you do resonate with being on the twin flame journey or just divine counterpart energies. That's who I usually read for, right? A divine journey. But this feels really, it's like such personal growth is taking place right now. It's like that butterfly. It's like you've done the whole being in the chrysalis. Then you became a butterfly. You've been learning your wings, learning how to fly, okay? But I also think that you had a whole new level to you. It didn't stop there. That's why you went from butterfly to phoenix, truly. I'm seeing Scorpio as well, so that scorpion to eagle to phoenix. You've had to learn. So maybe there were times that you acted, I'm hearing like vengeful. Yeah, but you were stuck in your, you're stuck in old patterns. That's why you've been doing the healing, you can tell, because you're no longer allowing yourself to stay entrapped within your own mind, restricting you from actually following your heart, okay? Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I'm hearing can't get you out of my mind energies. So maybe that is an energy that you're connected to, okay? Passion. I'm hearing loyalty and stability are really big here. I think this is like that long-term energy that you want. And I'm just talking about connection. Ace of Swords keeps coming through. I'm talking about genuinely in your life. So maybe you are, business did come through quite heavy there. And King of Pentacles, he's business savvy. Like he is creating his castle, right? The original tarot, that's what he's got, his castle behind him. He's got all of his abundance. He's got so much material goods. right? But I don't think it's just, like I said, the value system is becoming way more on point. It's not just about having, things, it's about the meaning of it, the meaningful nature of what you're actually creating, which is why I feel like you're becoming way more purpose driven and in service to divine. We just had the Queen of Pentacles come through, King and Queen of Pentacles. That really just, whoa, and the Fool. You're leaving behind a lifestyle. But in doing so, I don't think you realize that you're actually leveling up to even more luxurious, more abundant, way more regal lifestyle. A lifestyle where you're going to have so much more respect surrounding you. The King and Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. This is unit energy, like it's a true divine alignment. The Fool, which means you, whoever you both are, because clearly there's 2 from 3 now, you're very much finding your alignment within. Both of you are strengthening your core value system, and it's coming into alignment. I don't think you realize it. That's why the 8 of Swords is there. You don't see this happening with you. You're both, they're facing the other way, opposite direction. You have no idea what's happening on each other's journeys, but there is alignment taking place. King and Queen of Pentacles, heavy earth vibe, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, let's see. Fours are important here. Could feel like you're receiving a lot of angelic support as well. You might connect quite heavily to angels. Okay, so there's a problem with communication here. That's what's coming through. And the Page of Swords as well. Oh, and the Seven of Swords. Okay, so there might be some sneaky communication taking place. So maybe it's, you don't realize, maybe there's masks, okay? This is not sacred union energies. I just want to make that clear. There's masks. There's clearly a reason why somebody is hiding behind the scenes right now. That's what I'm getting. They're not proud of it either. There's a reason though. There's a reason for it. So I'm not saying that's excusable. You should be okay with it. I'm just saying that there's something going on here, and it's to do with communication barriers. But someone truly is behind this. I'm seeing them literally behind like a screen, not even just their phone, like an actual screen. I think they're learning. They might be learning through somebody. They're also learning. Oh my God, the 10 of Cups, 6 of Cups. Yeah, they're understanding the decisions they made in the past. Remember I said it's going to determine the way in which the leaves are facing. All the leaves, it's like they've shriveled. Winter is coming is what I'm getting there. There's definitely distance here. I'm hearing plane landing, but also there's communication blocks, truly. There's something about someone wanting to, this is again specific, it's like traveling, like a rocket ship going to the stars. Okay, this is how they feel. This is where they want to be journeying. Okay, so I'm going to get some more cards here about this King of Pentacles before I continue with tarot. I just want to confirm. Okay, they're finding, this is what I mean. They're finding their center, the balance, energy within them. Maybe they are meditating, but they're finding more wellness of being. They're feeling much more centered, much more aware, very important. There's a flow with them. They're integrating the different areas of themselves. They're feeling better about the direction that they're going, especially because it's going to be a new beginning. But I feel like they're prepared for this new beginning. It's not just it's like they've become who they need to be for this new beginning. Okay. It's not, they might feel like they're returning to this old version of themselves, but where they felt better, but they're not actually. They're becoming even better. They're becoming an even better version of themselves. Their divine alignment is what they're stepping into. Yeah, ball and chain. And that's because they have had some kind of, something they've been heavily attached to, the glass heart. Could have been some kind of codependency, difficult relationships. Maybe they did have something going on. There's addiction, some kind of restriction energy here as well. This is heavy. This is where they've had their biggest lessons with whatever this energy is. Very karmic energy. There was baggage. They felt trapped. They were stuck, weighed down. Wow. They've really had to handle this. Like I said, but this is what's giving them some of their biggest leveling up energy. Okay. Let's see what else. For this King of Pentacles, yeah, Helm. Steering clear. They know this now. They know this. They understand what the third party energies are. They see it clearly. This is where they're finding their centeredness, because they're not easily allowing themselves to fall into that trap Okay, they're not just a mouse anymore. They're stepping into that, like, I'm hearing a raging bull energy with that King of Pentacles, got that bull. But lion maybe. Number 15. They're in control. They're charting their course now. They're exploring their freedom. It says freedom. Freedom's a big thing for this message. Knowing what your freedom is, finding your alignment, because you'll be shocked when you actually recognize these core values within you, the qualities within you. You will align with the right people, and you need to be mindful that you're not just settling for something that is just a repetition, you know. And I think this is why someone's been, maybe they've been a bit non-committal or something along those lines, because they've not found their alignment yet, but they're getting there. Wisdom, mastery, expert, going places. Again, I think that they could very well be traveling with that plane landing and everything that I've been saying from the beginning. Self-determination. Yeah, they're motivating themselves right now. Okay, I'm just going to clarify this Queen of Pentacles as well. Just get some messages for this Queen of Pentacles just to confirm. Communication, masculine energy. Maybe she does have some masculines around her right now, and that King of Swords is there as well. So, but this kind of communication, number 12, number 7, negotiating, chatty, debate, discuss, flighty, nervous, ADHD, making contact, noise, text or call someone. Maybe that's what she's experiencing and that's what she's expecting, and she's not settling. You know, she knows what she wants. She has faith in her alignment. She's not going to just, you know, settle is what I'm hearing. I think she's so, Lily, yeah, she's so established in herself. I'm not just talking about maybe, your career and stuff like that, but it's not even just that. I feel like it's something within her, you know. Again, that Taurus energy, she's not going to budge. She knows her worth. And she'll do what she needs to do to get what she needs, but she's not going to just settle externally. Clouds, she could be misinterpreting the energy that wants to move towards her, that King of Pentacles, so she might be a bit hesitant. Number 6, have doubts, confusion. Some things are beyond view for her right now, you know. She's not understanding why that communication block is there. She doesn't know. She hasn't got the answers, that's why. Okay, she doesn't realise what his ball and chain energy has been for that King of Pentacles. Another one for this Queen of Pentacles, just to confirm. So she's very confused about what's going on right now, to be fair. Look, foggy glasses, oh my god. Clouds and foggy glasses, she has no idea. Okay, this Queen of Pentacles needs to focus on calling her energy back to her, cleansing and clearing, because if this is her, like, she doesn't understand what's going on here, why there hasn't been communication, or if there is going to be communication, it's just going to be in this energy. It's not going to be that centeredness, which actually the King of Pentacles is stepping into. So she's expecting this, and I think that she needs to release those expectations. Number 20, distorted view, muddled, mental fog, forgetfulness, obscured, willful ignorance, negativity, clouding judgments, confused, lacking clarity. Yeah. Wow. So maybe she is kind of trying to also focus on her path of purpose, but there's some things that are still uncertain for her. Let's get another one, this Queen of Pentacles, because definitely something confusing for her. The island. She's feeling isolated. She's still feeling that the separation. She's still feeling the guardedness from this masculine energy, because she hasn't experienced. He's thinking about the Four of Wands, finding his center, releasing all these the right things that are weighing him down. But she doesn't know this, because obviously that's his own journey. And so she's feeling solo, isolated right now. Number 21. She's getting the energy of standoffish from this person because of that lack of communication. You know, she thinks that this is a King of Pentacles who's going to feel quite nervous. And she's thinking, well, how does that work then? Because he's got to be someone who's, you know, we've got to find alignment. We've got to both have our confidence to say yes to this communication, right? Lonely, independent. She could be very independent. I do feel that from her. There is a separation here right now. Solo. I feel like she's someone who thinks that, you know, being solo is a way of protecting herself as well, because she hasn't experienced the best until she does find that what meets her standards. But is she isolating herself from even finding that? Yeah, it's difficult, but she's finding her worth more than ever though. So yeah, definitely finding out more information here. 27, she could be working on her own things here, you know, to remove herself from this energy, getting more information. Number 27, very important details, doing research, documents, examining the fine print, larger than life, clarity. So there is clarity coming in for her, but I think she's going to need a lot of clarity, because this energy here, it feels there's just a lot of uncertainty in her life right now, you know. So she doesn't know what direction she's going in, but there's something about holding on to faith as well, because that was coming through before for her. Okay, so that's just to confirm. I'm just going to get some more tarot now to confirm what the message is. Okay. I'm seeing sunflowers as well. That could be important to somebody. Strength. See that King of Pentacles? And I did say lion, and well, there's a bull. Funnily enough, I mentioned both of those animals. It's actually a bull on this deck, but it's normally a lion. So strength. Yeah, embodying that divine masculine in their power, in their strength, in their courage. Again, heart-centered, not ego-led. Big difference. I think they're learning how to tame their ego. That word came through for a reason, tame. You have to heal through and clear through your demons, right? So the understanding, maybe they do have temptations, that ball and chain energy. They're learning how to not just like avoid them or try their best to not yield to it, but actually what's the problem? Why is it even, calling me and feeling so heavy? They're understanding so they can actually get a hold on it, grab those reins. Three of Pentacles, yeah, they want to work together. Four of Wands. They really do. They want to do this together. This is just in their energy though, because clearly there's been separation right now. There's been a lack of communication and clarity. So this is how they're feeling, but it's not being communicated yet, okay? Yeah, Knight of Swords. Very, very... I think both of these have had to learn patience here. But I think this has been a slow moving for them to really unravel themselves, the binds, the entrapment in their own mind, their environment, Four of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles. She's not, like I say, she's still stuck on what happened in the past, and I guess there wasn't closure, if you want to call it that. Yeah. I don't think she's received, I think, an apology, or maybe even, I'm seeing, like left and red energies, that kind of energy. That's why the Island was coming through, feeling ghosted. Okay. Six of Cups. And the Three of Wands. Time to move forward. Not hold on to the past versions of these masculine energies that you've connected with. You know you deserve better and you're worthy of better. So have faith that that's what you're going to receive in divine timing as you focus on yourself. Yeah, Seven of Swords, King of Cups at the bottom. That's come out with that Page of Swords. And I did say that there's something about some kind of potentially like masked online behaviors or something about being behind the scenes with that Page of Swords. I think that's what's happening. Maybe I'm even hearing like phone calls and like without showing your identity. That's coming through as well. So that's specific. Even maybe a text or something. So there's definitely something about that. Again, that's not going to really give her faith and hope in this, is it? Like, let's get real. What I'll say to that is the choices that someone else is making on their journey to become who they need to be in their divine self, you don't need to get caught up in that as much as you need to bring your power back to you and recognize what you are and aren't worthy of. You don't need to place something on someone, an attachment. They need to be like this. That's who it is. No, release it. Let them travel through their journey. You need to focus on you. And there's something about really releasing that past. I'm getting a really cozy vibe. Like winter's going to be important. Okay. So yeah, it's time for you to focus on your forward vision. You're a bit of a visionary, this Queen of Pentacles, actually. And I think that perhaps in the past you yourself haven't had the best communication skills either. Maybe you thought you did more than this King of Pentacles you connected to, but there's still something here about, I don't think you were completely fully honest with what you want moving forwards, because I don't think you knew yourself, truthfully. But you're getting there. This is why there's so much confusion, but you are getting there. You can't see the path ahead, and maybe, you're used to that and you expect that. There's something about needing to, if this is going to, I'm hearing like rebuilding trust energies. Let's just see what else we can find out for you. This beautiful message. Yeah, justice. Death again at the bottom of the deck. Libra energies, justice. This King of Pentacles has had to correct a lot. Course correction, I'm hearing. So there's definitely something there. Okay, I know you don't know that. Again, the Four of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the Lovers. My God, do they know what they want? They know the decision they want to make, and that's because they're finally course correcting. They're making better decisions in business, is what I've heard specifically. There's definitely something about business and this masculine. That's a big deal. Better decisions there, not being shady there. They carry the weight of that, right? And now it's like they want to move towards their heart, their love, their heart in terms of romance and sex and stuff like that. I think that they were finding their stability first. It was a big deal to them. And that's something that they needed to hold on to the, get a rein on their like demons that I was talking about, you know, that ball and chain energy, so they could really move forward in this direction and become who they know that they're here to be. And Queen of Pentacles, I think you are aware that they of this version of them too. So the fact you're holding on to who they were and the kind of communication you've had in the past, the blocks, the communication issues or whatever it is. And you know, you were, from what I'm getting, you've left unread and or ghosted or whatever you want to call it. That's not a nice position to be in. But you need to hear, like, you need to get to the point where you can release the hold on that, you know. And again, that's individual for everybody. It happens when you're ready, you know. But I'm talking about you stepping into your worth, you know. If you're experiencing some kind of abundance blocks, maybe to think about, hold on, am I worthy of that? No, I'm not. I deserve better. And act accordingly and receive only accordingly, you know. There's something about really connecting to divine that's important for you, Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Your heart space, your compassion, your compassionate nature. And I'm not, you know, I say this all the time, light and dark, light and shadow work together. There's no separation as far as I'm concerned. It's a divine dance, right? There are some people who will claim to be all unconditional love and all love and light, and then they'll have certain situations and, you know, it suddenly doesn't become all love and light, you know. So it's not about pretending to be all compassionate, unconditional love. Yes, you genuinely get into, when you genuinely get into that heart space because you found that for yourself, you can genuinely understand why another person has made the decisions that they have and hold healthy boundaries for yourself. And also recognize who this is, how this journey is played out for a reason, who you've become. What you do moving forward, it's up to you. You know, you don't have to do anything. But it's about your soul expansion here and your evolution. You becoming your divine self is important. Okay, Eight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. Whoa, too many cards there. But that is not, that's very heavy, very lonely journey to release whatever this self-entrapment was, okay? The Sun, yeah. There's clarity, there's a breakthrough. I'm hearing literally like an actual breakthrough. Like you can breathe again, like, oh my God, clarity, Sun. So creating the room and the door is opening, you're creating the room for happiness to enter. Beautiful. No longer being in that trapped in energies. Oh, Nine of Cups. See, this is with that Queen of Pentacles. You know what your heart truly desires. So you're going to need to learn how to let go of that past version. I think that you're going to need someone to really show up for you, truly. Not because you're in your ego. Not at all. I think it's because there's something about what you have to give and you want that in return. You might be a very giving lover, you know, in a connection. You want your alignment. You worked hard to be who you are in terms of your worth. But it's about respecting each other, truly. Respecting each other is going to be and your journeys so far up to this point. Being honest about your intentions moving forwards, what you truly desire moving forwards. Judgment. There's an awakening. Maybe this is where you had that awakening with this, the communication. It's like, maybe there is going to be communication actually, and it's going to open up a new door, but it's not full transparency in that communication. There's still some hesitation. I'm just going to get another one. The King of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Judgment card here. I'm just going to get another one to confirm. The Star. I think this is bridging the gap. I honestly think this is healing the distance. You are distant from each other right now, truly. That's why there's somebody being online, is what I'm getting, or whatever kind of things that were coming through before. It's like you're going to connect the dots between the past, the present, and the future. You know? In terms of everything that we just mentioned as well. There's a wish that you both share. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Six of Cups, Queen of Wands. Okay, and that's come out with the Page of Swords and then Seven of Swords. Someone definitely has been behind the scenes, for sure, watching online, and the attraction has grown, truly. They're seeing someone glowing. They are. However, there's also this energy of mishandling. There's been a mishandling in the past. they know this, and everything we've just said from the beginning. Remember to watch all parts to ensure that you fully understand this message is for you. Yeah, Six of Swords, it's time to transition. Again, there's a distance here. This is a Hermit at the bottom of the deck. I think that they think you've moved on, to be honest. But I'll say that, you know, the King of Pentacles here is thinking the Queen of Pentacles has moved on. It's like they can see what they want, and it's like so precious, but it's moving further and further away, and they know that they haven't helped this situation. Two of Wands. They want to open this door. There is a pathway opening. You know, sorry I've said it. So there is a pathway opening, and this is where those decisions and which way those little flowers are going to be directed in is going to make all the difference. I'm seeing rings as well on that. So let's just get some clarity for you. Distance is a really big detail. Like, it's such a big deal here. So it's definitely something. Okay, that's the masculine energy you wanted to come through before. Masculine energy. Wow, that's really karma as well. Karmic cycles. Could be the eclipse effect, right? I think there's something about having the right communications here. I'm talking heart to heart. You know, none of this guarded energy, I'm better than you, or this happened in the past, and, you know, making someone pay. And that's why the Scorpio energy came through with that. The Scorpion and the Eagle, the Phoenix. It's rising above that now. This is, again, respect is going to be a big deal here for both of you, respecting each other. I honestly thought this was going to be a reading about one person, but it's turned into this connecting energy. So let's see what else I need to be aware of. Yeah, the clouds again. Oh my god, the rings. I did say I was seeing the rings. The clouds. There's such a lack of certainty about what's happening moving forwards. Maybe that's why you're watching this. But again, it's going to be based on how much you are. You know, you can't force alignment. You have to allow yourself to see what feels right for you in that moment. You know? Ooh, the sun there. Big yes energies. Got the iceberg here as well. Number 26. So there's more than meets the eye here. Okay. The unseen. Look deeper. Cold, mysterious, subconscious, buried memories, illusion, hidden depths, complex. That's giving, again, Scorpio energy. But also, I think this is about, you don't know the full picture, because this is about somebody else's deep inner journey. So they can get that sun energy twice. They can find clarity. They've been confused for a very long time. Okay. You have been receiving the signs. White feather, number 7. You've been receiving the signs. Okay, miracles, peace, purity, purification, especially that Queen of Pentacles, like being connected to Virgo, and Virgo is very much about that purity, right? Coming back to that, to yourself, to your divine self, protection, leap of faith, sign, message, rising above, I said that, encouraging forgiveness, reconciliation, freedom. Time to free yourself from this uncertain energy, this past energy. Now this chandelier, as in the first time it's coming up the bottom of the deck, there's definitely something about you guys and your status, okay? There's something about your, just quite sophisticated. I think we'll see what happens, but there is definitely something about having a very luxurious vibe, both of you, you know, wanting the best. No, again, I don't think it's ego driven. I think it's because you worked hard to get to that point, but also because there's something about I think that neither of you lower your standards. So the decisions that you make to get to that point where you are in that abundance energy is always in your alignment. So you call in only that which is worthy of you, okay? The Eiffel Tower could be important for somebody, Paris. Which is why I think that there's been some periods of that loneliness, that, you know, that solo energy, because you know that sometimes you have to ride it alone. Otherwise, you're settling. Really have both had really big lessons on patience and worthiness. Okay. Okay, this is a letter. So I actually think this could be connected again to business. We've got the fish there as well as resources. So definitely something to do with business for both of you. 27/7. Writing. My throat is getting blocked just as I'm talking about the letter, and it's about communication. So it's something that perhaps you're getting signs for, but you don't need to know what's coming, which is why there's that hesitation, that uncertainty. Maybe it's a surprise. Maybe it's going to be that test where you get to say, okay, when it comes through, now how am I going to respond? Am I going to pause, take a moment, step back, know my worth, act accordingly, healthy boundaries, not react. Okay? Writing, communication, fax, email, mail, notes, records, news, memo. Making contact, information and written documents. Again, written documents. Maybe you've got something happening right now to do with business. That's important. Reading the fine print energies. Okay, what else? Oh my God, it's the seed. That's the very first message that was coming through. The seed. There's growth, there's potential. Number 23, change. Small beginnings. Looks like small beginnings. They're going to have big results. You're watering the seeds. Hope. Hidden possibilities. More than meets the eye again. Again, you don't need to know, This Queen of Pentacles, there's a lot you don't need to know because actually it's kind of like it's being delivered to you. It's being created. Nutritious, reproduce. Wow. Just don't give up hope right now. No, don't give up faith. Call back your power and stay in your alignment. Okay? So important. Doorbell. Someone's coming, an arrival. Number 10. You could generally have somebody giving birth, Something about that before. Welcome, alert, arrival, announce. Someone's coming, engage, invite, engage as rings again. Invite, transition, visit, opportunity knocks, return, connect, choices. Let's get another one. There's definitely something about communication coming through. I mean, it's not coming through properly, but there's just this energy of, it's in the air, it's lingering, but you don't really need to know about it so much yet. The clover, luck, opportunity, number 2, number 6. Happy coincidence, unexpected rendezvous, a fling, good fortune. Good fortune, again, carefree, a reward, flirt, short-lived. You might have very carefree energy, and maybe there have been things that have been short-lived in the past, but that's why there's more stability coming moving forward. Something of the past is important here as well. Let's get one more. Do you need to know? An avalanche, feminine energy at the bottom of the deck. Avalanche, that's interesting. So masculine and feminine showing themselves there. This is to do with very unexpected, major force, uncontrollable, chain reaction, unexpected, wipeout, emergency, external force, building momentum, sudden. That's really interesting. I'm going to get some more cards just to confirm this as well, this message, because I think that there's going to be some kind of luck on your side that you're not going to expect, to be honest. And with that comes other things that are going to be knocking at your door kind of energy, in your emails, in your inboxes. You've got a lot of things happening, and I don't think you realise it because you're just literally sitting in clouds and I'm becoming this person, I'm aligning with this. But what's happening outside of me? Where's the opportunity? There's just something here that needs to be cleared. And is that block? Look, Venus, the Empress, at the bottom of the deck. Summertime could have been important for you, that this build-up of this momentum. Okay, Cancer energies, so Cancer sign energy, King of Water. Okay, within the next 1 to 3 months, something's going to really build momentum for you. I think this is where the clouds will disperse, that more than meets the eye energy. That's why you don't need to know, because your focus would be misdirected then. You need to be focused on you right now. I think that you're going to be having an awakening of what your future looks like. Okay, I suppose that makes sense then, because there's been so much of this twin flames, mirroring, divine counterparts, reflecting. This is why it's so much about, I keep saying, you've got to call your power back to you, because it's not about your connecting person. This is about, and again, that energy of you needing to release what's happened in the past so that they can become who they need to be, and so you can as well, so you truly can find your alignment. They've reflected to you what you're still holding on to. Something that maybe it was to do with the masculine energy you've connected with and allowed in your life. And now it's kind of like, hold on, where are my true values? What do I truly desire? I'm moving on from being in that energy. I'm going to move forwards, allow this new beginning to enter, this new faith, this new pathway, that door that's opening, and have faith in that. Understand that everything that's happened so far has served its purpose, and recognize, specifically for this journey, very different to just a normal romantic relationship, right? You have a purpose. Everything that you've done, every shadow that you have ignited in each other. Again, it can be very difficult for some people to really recognize the difference between karmic and twin flames at the beginning. But eventually, once you surrender into the journey, you begin to see this, you understand it. Virgo energy could be important, so is autumn time. Okay. wow, you're becoming your like most divine selves. I'm hearing best self as well. I think that you've really ignited that in each other to want to be your best selves. That's what happens. You do. You want to be your best self. That's a key difference between karmic and twin flames. You both truly bring out that best self in each other and show each other what you could be, and you want to be that. You know, the karmic energy, you end up just repeating certain cycles. And you know, there's a lack of growth, to be honest. You know, you allow yourself to stay. Oh, she did come through. Look at that. Venus, the Empress. Venus stairs already cut this. Attraction, beauty, charm, love, pleasure. This is what you need to step into. Remember these qualities of yourself. Not because your ego is like needing validation from external. It's not about external. It's about you going back within yourself, finding pleasure within you. You know, what things bring you pleasure. Your love, your heart space, your beauty, your charm, your attraction for you. Yeah. This is what's going to start attracting certain things to you. These lucky experiences. Suddenly you're going to be like, wait, what? You know, what I'm doing is working because I'm feeding to myself, recognizing my worth. Okay, element of water. So water's coming through a lot here now. Again, that's a very emotional energy. So intuition, emotions, compassion. We said that things are fluid. Things are fluid. You've got the King of Fire here. Within 7 days. Within 7 days. Maybe that's that letter energy that dealing with this communication. I think that there's this energy of communication suddenly coming in so fast. You didn't even, it's like it's been stuck for ages. And suddenly it's just going to feel like a bit of a windfall. And I think this could be, again, to do with business related things as well. Okay. Okay. Queen of Air. Wintertime Aquarius energies. Again, within 2 to 4 weeks. So I think within the next month, there's a lot of progress when it comes to clearing those clouds and finding faith again in the journey. I think that you need to reconnect to these white feather, these signs, to divine, to your angels. Ask them for support, for guidance, you know, so that you can release and finally receive, right? So release to receive. Yeah, beautiful. This is mutable energies could be important, okay? This is about ending the past so you can wrap that up so you can really move forwards. Being open-minded about this, being a bit of maybe a chameleon you could be as you transition through whatever this is moving forward. Let's just get some more just maybe to do with your connection and this king as well. There you go again, hermit energies, soul-searching, enlightenment, solitude. Because you really have been in that solo energy. The moon. So that's the high priestess. You're very intuitive. This feminine energy, you're very, maybe both of you, feminine energy, you're very intuitive. You've got the Virgo solar eclipse coming in, that Virgo energy with this moon, and then the Virgo energy at the bottom of this deck again is giving massive solar eclipse. So that's that rebirth that's going to be taking place. The new opportunities, your intuition, your inner knowing. There's silence, there's secrets. But it's serving a purpose, truly. You have to honor the divine protection as well. And, you know, zone back in to yourself, okay? There's going to be this, you're feeling stuck. This is why there's so much confusion, especially when it comes to your purpose path, your abundance path. There's stuckness right now, but there's going to be expansion coming through. This is where it might feel like, whoa, you know. You're becoming way more grounded, right? So this is earth sign energy specifically, so practical, dependable, grounded. I think you're becoming way more grounded. Maybe before you were quite flighty, you know, maybe in the head with that Virgo energy, Mercury energy, it's just like lots going on, analysing. You've learned to release that. This is where you're surrendering, you know, and letting go of even that past that we've been mentioning from the beginning. So it's going to be expansion. There's going to be a turning point for you. There's growth coming for you, especially over the next month. Okay, and moving on from that, 1 to 3 months, you could say. Okay, let's see if there's anything else for you and your connection as well. You've got the Emperor and the Empress that have just come out. And then you've got the King of Fire again, 7 days, at the bottom of the deck. So maybe this is to do with this, you two finding that, removing the blocked communication, right? Finding a way out. So ending that past way, that past cycle. Something about that is really important, okay? I'm going to get a card, an animal, because this is really interesting. The twin flame cards, the Venus, the Empress and then the Emperor. Wow, you're really going to clear up, you're wrapping up that, you know, that stuck energy, you're really wrapping that up now. And it's all going to be about the action that the divine masculine is taking in the physical as a result of the divine feminine calling back her power spiritually, energetically, focusing her alignment with her emotion also. Okay, so a card, divine masculine animal card. This is where there's going to be that sun energy. Oh my god, the swans, twin flames, the bottom of the deck, divine counterparts of the one, blooming love. Okay, so geese. So again, he's moving, this divine masculine anyway. There's relocation, there's migration, dependable, know where they're going, leaving no one behind, cyclic, faithful, on a quest, migration. They're on a quest, they know what they want. 4 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, lovers, hello. Wow. Card for the divine feminine. Ooh, oh my god, can you get any more clearer? You are so intuitive. You know what's going on behind the veil. This is why it's so annoying. This is like, feels so confusing, because normally you know what's going on, but on this journey, you might have those beautiful, intuitive, psychic gifts there to help other people. When it comes to you, you feel so blocked, because you normally like, I know what's happening, I know what's going on. Not with this, you don't. That's why you're finding it hard to let go of what's happened, because that's the only thing that you can be certain of. You're the owl. That's powerful. So powerful. Number 16, you're seeing through the facade, you're wise, you're aware, you're observant, secrets are lifted. You're used to that, seeing beyond the secrets, beyond the veil. Insights, you know what's going on, you explore the unknown. Again, that Scorpio energy coming through. Powerful. Card for your connection. Wow, you both come out as birds as well. Freedom, again, you both want to be free. And that's where you get to connect and, you know, truly have that healthy communication. Because I think you both want this. You're very aligned. I mean, look at this. This is incredible. Emperor, Empress, King and Queen of Pentacles with twin flames. Wow. Card for your connection. All right. Wow. The White Wolf. That's really powerful. This is where that lone wolf energy is coming through as well. I think that both of you have been on that quest, truly, to find your vision ahead and see where you're going. Number 7, confident, guidance. Confidence, guidance, trusting your inner knowing, believing. This is what it's brought in you, your connection in both of you. Believing in your power, instinctual freedom, again, can we get resilience, stamina, knowing your inner, trusting your inner knowing is a big one for both of you. Wow, powerful. All right, I'm just going to get some messages. This is a twin flame oracle deck, so I'm going to get some messages from divine masculine to divine feminine. Okay, so number 6, a card of growth. I miss you. Let's both stop running away. That's just confirmation. Look at what they want. They're really closing out something to do with their karmic cycle here, truly. This is why they're moving. They're in that moving energy. You don't know what's going on, divine feminine. I think it's driving you a bit like, Grr. But again, it doesn't matter what's going on. You're going to get what you have faith that divine is delivering to you, exactly what you need and when you need it. And you just got to be the person who's ready to receive it. And know your worth as you do so. Healthy boundaries, not reactive. Not stuck in the past, right? Beauty, love, pleasure, charm, attraction. Embody your beautiful energy within. What a gift. And the gift is that you both showed each other who you are. You know, you knew there was so much that you had to do. There was more than what you could see in the surface. More than meets the eye, iceberg. You've shown each other what's beneath the surface. And yes, there's more to this connection that's going to come through in the right time. Card from divine feminine to divine masculine. Message from divine feminine to divine masculine. Thank you. I don't think she knows what to say, truthfully, because she doesn't know what the situation. Yeah, I don't think there is anything, truly. I'll take this as well, generally, just for your connection. Number 9. I'd long ago shut down those parts of me that wanted love, romance, and intimacy, but you make me long for those things again. Wow. Wow. Okay, well, honor yourself, especially with the solar eclipse that's coming through, and even if that's not when you're listening to this, just hold faith in everything happening exactly how it needs to, showing you what it needs to, especially if you truly are on this journey. It's not like a relationship, especially when you come into contact with each other again after a separation. You have to start to feel into it again, find your frequencies with each other. Yeah? It's okay. You're going to build that trust, that foundation. So hold faith in that. There's a new beginning coming. And also there's something about faith keeps coming through, but your worth is going to be important when you have decisions to make. Okay, remember, not settling. and holding faith that there's a reason why you are being divinely guided towards where you are and need to be going and who you are, because you're not meant to settle for less than that. Okay, you got this. Sending so much love.